to make something about that, and but they were tearing these neighborhoods down and setting them on fire, and I just thought if I don't start right now, it's going to be gone. So I got a camera, and over the course of a year, I just would go and film when I had time, and then I realized that I was, I guess, making a movie, and just, it was lonely, and I thought, I need people here, this would be more fun. And so then I wrote the script, and I was lucky enough to get like some of my favorite actors to come there and help me make this movie.
I mean, had there been a plan at any point that you were going to be starring in the film yourself?
No, because, you know, like, I mean, this took everything I had, you know. I don't know, these guys out there making it look easy, but they're wrong. It's hard. So, you know, I couldn't imagine doing any more than that. It was just enough to direct it.
I mean, in terms of casting, was it a question of looking around and getting a group of friends together, people who you either had worked with already or you wanted to work with, and then building the roles around them? Or were you thinking, okay, I need the right actors for the part? And when you're answering this question, if you can answer with reference to Matt Smith.
I mean, there's lots of other actors in the movie that we've talked about as well. Like, so it's, yeah, there's
well, Matt Smith and others.
Yeah.
Well, I just knew I wanted the film to have a fairy tale feeling, because I thought, you know, what these families were going through was more universal than just what's happening in Detroit, and I thought like a fairy tale aspect would make it more emotionally accessible. You could just focus on that as opposed to like the political minutia for why. So, you know, I tried to use like classic fairy tale characters, you know, and like there was this idea of like, you know, the main character Bones and his antagonist Bully being sort of like Parsifal in the Red Knight, and so I wrote this sort of like Red Knight character, and then one day I was watching TV and it happened kind of like it does in the film. Like I heard Matt Smith's voice just screaming at me, and I went and I looked at watched the TV. It was Doctor Who, and there was an episode where he was in a car screaming into this microphone, and he was just telling all these aliens, you know, the way it was going to go, and he was really doing it. And he was like a boss, you know, just telling all these spaceships what was what. And as an actor, I know that is a really hard scene to do, and I'm pretty sure that the spaceships were not there. So he was just so convincing, and it's also just like I thought, who is this guy? I've never seen anybody like him. There's no one like him. You know, he seemed like, you know, like one of those actors from the 70s that was just, you know, that were just themselves and not like anybody else. And I thought, you know, I have to work with that guy. So I tracked him down.
So what's your side of that story? Burning?
Yeah, I mean, I was in New York and I was about to fly home, and then I got a call from my agent saying, Ryan Gosling wants to fly over to meet you. I was like, cool. and then I was in this room in New York, and I stayed for the night, and someone brought me the script, and I read it in the Bowery Hotel while the car